Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Resolution King, aka your real estate solution king. Bringing you real estate solutions, whether you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And today we have a special guest, our president and our current COO, Michael Del Clemente, is in the building. Michael, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How about you?
Good, good, good. Hey, first of all, I just want to say thank you for coming on the channel, sitting down, having a real conversation with me today. And I pray that our conversation is informative and educational for our listeners and viewers out there. But I'm going to get right to the business because I know you're a busy guy. First of all, tell people, how long have you been in the mortgage industry?
Just about 20, almost 21 years.
Okay.
Going on now, yeah.
Well, also, now, what got you into the mortgage industry?
So it was a very good friend of mine, very close friend. He's actually still in the industry too. He's moved. He's up in the New York area.
Okay.
He lived here in Jacksonville, and we were working together at another company. And he had an opportunity to get into this industry.
Okay.
And I decided to follow him. It was ended up being a very good opportunity. Once I got into the industry, I thrived. I realized that's what I wanted to do, and here we are, almost 21 years later, and I'm still doing it.
So
really loved it.
I want to ask you a few questions. So your friend that's in the industry, did you work with him? Now, what's his position currently now versus yours?
He's originating. He's a very good originator.
Okay.
So that's there's kind of two sides of the industry. There's sales and operations, right? And I would say my current role, I'm more operational. Sales is loan originators are the people that they're out there prospecting for business, working with realtors, meeting people. You'll see them in events, open houses, and they're the ones out in meeting the local people and establishing, taking loan applications, things like that.
Now, what made you choose to kind of go in a different direction as far as when you kind of started?
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing how I started too. So I was in college right about that time. I wanted to be a commercial pilot. So I was in college and commercial flight school. And it was about the time 9/11 happened, unfortunately, and that caused some layoffs and depression in the industry. And so I looked to make a career change.
Okay.
This was the opportunity that came about. And I did well as a loan originator, but I quickly figured out that what I was really good at, actually, let me say this differently. It's more fun to be a loan officer and a loan originator than running operations for what I'm doing right now. That is certainly, you're helping people, you're meeting people, you're seeing the results. Yeah. But I quickly figured out that I was much more proficient at the back end of that equation, the operational side, the processing, the underwriting, the technology. So that's why I stuck in this space. That's where I can make a bigger impact.
Okay. So that's why you chose to kind of go, because that kind of geared towards your gift or what you feel like you were passionate about.
Yeah. So I'll talk about the technology for a second, right? So I started as a loan originator, and then I moved into. There's a lot of different pieces in the mortgage puzzle, right? I was a loan originator, loan officer, processor, processing manager, closer, closing manager, underwriting. And then I worked at different, much larger banks, right? So like Bank of America, Everbank, TIAA Bank, which was they acquired Everbank, and then eventually that spun off the mortgage division into US Bank. Okay. So I was there. I went over there, I guess about 11 years ago is when I went to Everbank. Okay. And oh my gosh, yeah, a little more than that. And an opportunity came about for a technology role, right? And I didn't have any actual technology experience, but it was a hybrid between operations and technology. So I was technology astute, but I had the operational experience, and I was lucky enough that they gave me a shot. Yeah. In fact, when I first got that job, it was a contingency. They couldn't find anybody. Okay. And when they first gave it was after like 6 months to a year where there was no one in the role. I asked about it again. They decided to do it. They decided to give me a 6-month contingency. I ended up staying in the role for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years before I joined this company. So that's where my the technology experience really helps today, especially where the industry's going, right? It's very technology driven now.
So I just want to hit on something. So you went for a position.
Yeah.
And it took you how many months to get that?
So the position was open, I'd say between where they couldn't find anybody for 6 to 12 months.
So
And I was asking, I was inquiring, and I didn't have the relevant experience, right? They wouldn't give me an opportunity because I didn't have the technology background. I only had the operational.
And you could have said, all right, well, you could have just given up on that, but you stay true to that and say, you know what, I'm the right person for that job.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally they gave you an opportunity.
Yep, they did.
Now, what happened when they gave you that opportunity?
It worked incredibly well, right? I think, in fact, the funny thing is we never technically had the formal conversation. I never had the 6-month review. I think they just knew it was going so well. You know, I got the change, right? I got the promotion, and they
just for a conversation piece. Did they give you market value for your service?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's
I did not get it initially though, so I did it 6 months without it.
So basically, you proved yourself.
Yeah.
You put in the work, you put in the time, and then eventually the pay matched the opportunity that they took a chance on you. You took a chance with them,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked out because you betted on yourself. That's awesome. So I want to jump to something what I call ask the expert, because I know that you are an expert at mortgages. You can't be an expert without putting in 21 years in an industry. So I like to kick things from two standpoints. One from a consumer standpoint, or two from someone that's looking to possibly get into the mortgage business, and they might have that friend like you had that's saying, hey, won't you get in the mortgage, blah, 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 and they're kind of hesitant because they might be comfortable where they are. But I want to ask you, what are three things that you think what are three major keys to success in the mortgage business?
So I'm gonna give you 4, if that's all right. So the first one is, I'm gonna make an assumption that I think we need to make sure that's there before I answer that. You have to be a people person.
Okay.
Right? If you're gonna be in this industry, real estate, a loan originator is an extension or an auxiliary business to real estate. So you have to have that first level. You have to be able to want to interact with people.
Okay.
And be a people person. But the 3 things I would say are attention to detail. That's very important in this industry, from the finance, getting the numbers right?
Okay.
And because, misreading something could change it from you're approved to you're not, or you're approved for less. That's a misconception. A lot of people think if they don't qualify for a house, or they say I want to buy a house, and you don't qualify for it. It's that you don't qualify for that house. You may qualify for something less. Yeah. Right. It's not always just a no. It's just maybe no on this. Maybe you won't qualify for that much. There's a lot of times that income comes lower, but I'll get into that later. So attention to detail, tech skills, a good foundational tech skill, having a general understanding of how technology works, right? Navigating a computer, that's very helpful. And those were not in a particular order, but if I was going to say one was more important than the other, a desire to help people, right? Because there's nothing worse. Actually, I'll say this. So this has kind of been my joke lately, but it's very true. No mortgage company has ever stood in front of a room of realtors or a YouTube video and said, "Hi, I'm so and so, and I'm from this mortgage company, and my rates are terrible. I miss closings, and I'm going to not pick up the phone when there's a problem." Right? No one says that. Yeah. But unfortunately, there are 87% of mortgages close on time. Yeah. Industry wide, we're over 97%. But the difference is how you handle the problems, right? Yeah. And that's where you have to be able to want to help and desire to help people and stand up and get in front of the problems. And if there is a problem, let people know, right? And not want to hide behind it. Bad news doesn't age well, right? So if you find out there's a problem, the sooner you can get people involved and try to fix it. And I'm just back to that. The desire to help people is very important. And it's because it's a family. It's not alone, right? We're getting a family well, it could be an individual too, but we're getting a person or people moving into a home. That's amazing.
Tune in to my next conversation with Michael Del Clemente, President and COO of Watson Mortgage.